We just met the cow, and all loud, he coming. And so is John Cena on this episode of Podly, the official Peacemaker companion podcast from HBO Max and DC. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get into it.
Why is there a bald eagle in your car?
That's Eagly.
Eagly is your pet eagle.
Yeah.
Is your dog named Doggy?
All right.
Do you have a daughter named Daughtery?
All right, welcome everyone to episode 7 of Podly, the official Peacemaker companion podcast brought to you by HBO Max and DC. I'm Fiona Nova.
And I'm Ify Nwadiwe.
And we're going to be chatting about this week's episode. I mean, we've got a bunch of things that happened, okay?
And as always, if by episode 7 you don't get it, or maybe this is months down the line and you're just getting on the Peacemaker train, if you haven't watched it yet, make sure you pause this and go watch the show. And then come back and come chat with us, because it's spoilers ahoy ahead.
We got like a bunch of just like mommy issues, daddy issues, parent issues, butterfly issues that we just got to tackle. So let's get into it. The recap of episode 7. We are ready. We are getting ready to kill the cow.
Yeah, getting ready to kill the cow. We confront about the diary. Once that's fine, we just hop in the van.
Yeah.
And that's when we got, there's always time to rock. They've put on the music.
Absolutely.
They're going. They're rolling out. It seems like we're about to hit this battle, and then, oops, Papa's home.
Oops, daddy issues.
Yeah.
Oops, all daddy issues.
Yeah. Daddy's, he's there, and him and his goons are chasing around.
Yeah.
And we're seeing, this is some solid action. I mean,
This is, out of all the episodes, this is like the one with the most action. It's like nonstop for pretty much half the episode.
Yeah. They're just going toe to toe. You got Peacemaker fighting, his dad, and it looks like Vigilante makes this huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
They run into the forest, they're getting chased, and then Peacemaker's off to the side.
That's plot A. That's like plot A.
Yeah.
We've got a B plot here,
Yeah,
which is Judo Master getting mocked and getting bullied.
Yeah.
Destroys those fellas.
Yeah.
I don't know why they even thought to mess with him. Gets his hot Cheetos and drives to find Harcourt and Leota.
Yeah, they're on the hunt. And speaking of carjackings, Vigilante just hops in the car, and they're like, "You left your keys in the car?"
He's fast.
You left your keys in the car.
What? I was rushing.
Ignore it. Let's go.
What was the answer? He was like, essentially, so he's like, I just kind of left it there.
Yeah. No one thinks about doing it. So he's gone. They think nothing of it. And that's where we're learning now that they're able to track Peacemaker with his helmet. Which I imagine if you work that hard on something like a helmet, of course you're going to put GPS in it.
Tracker on it.
If it has, the sonic boom function, X-ray function, you best believe it's going to be Find My Helmet.
Yeah, Find My Helmet. That comes to the best thing, the raccoon decoy.
Yes, they'd use the raccoon. And we see that an unfortunate Peacemaker didn't get it easy. It wasn't an easy transition. His face is scratched up. He probably has rabies.
The man's invincible. You know what else? You know who isn't invincible? Vigilante. He's invincible to a nap.
The
guy just took a nap. I don't know what really happened.
We talked about A, and we talked about the B being Judo Master. Then we got to talk about the C, which is, the newly taken over Sophie hunting down for Harcourt and Leota.
So let's even move back a little bit. Harcourt discovers that Leota is Amanda Waller's daughter.
Yep.
And Byrne was like, yeah, I know. I did a background check. I'm not dumb.
Yeah.
But you can also see a time where Adebayo is a little bit vulnerable in this state, because she's like, I just can't do this. I don't want to, and I can't do this. I need to go.
You also have to remember, this is kind of the weight of everything that Adebayo has been dealing with since the first episode.
Yeah.
When she thought it would be simple, second episode, it's going to be harder. She's afraid to kill a man. By this point, she's actually taken life. So this is just the weight of the whole season finally coming to weigh her down. And we have this tough moment, and it gets even tougher when we go back to the A thing we were talking about, which is Peacemaker getting jumped.
But it's also the moment where there's a fight and Peacemaker kills his dad.
Yeah.
Like shoots him right in the head.
Yeah, that was a very surprising moment.
It was.
Because it really, but I like the way it happens. There's something satisfying of a shitty person mid, speech getting just shut up and, him being like, you can't kill me. You'll never.
Yeah, but it's also like the unexpected, right? Because in a real situation, that's where you get them, right?
Yeah, like I don't care how bad your parents are. It's going to be hard to put a bullet.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's dealing with that.
Yeah.
And
Plus,
on
he was shaken because Eagly took a bad hit from his dad.
He did. He wasn't happy. He wasn't happy, and he had to protect Eagly at all costs. But on the other end, Myrn also gets killed.
Yeah. They catch Myrn. Myrn
catch
holds
Myrn,
it down like a G and is like, I'm going to stay there.
Yeah.
They dispatch Myrn, and we think Myrn is good because he starts to fly away, but they're like, yeah, no, we know what you are. Snatched him up out the sky and crushed our boy.
So not only is Myrn, the human Myrn, dead, also the butterfly, so he's definitely not coming back.
Yeah.
Poor guy. And I feel...
I mean, remember, because he even had his last thing where he touches the finger.
Like that. And I felt so... And I think that was also the moment where Harcourt felt like, damn, that was the only other person that could understand how I'm feeling right now, and the person that she looked up to. And he's dead now. And there wasn't like a moment of grieving that like she couldn't even like express or grieve.
Because it's going down.
It's going
and she
down.
had to make sure she get the cow.
And then immediately after, she has to go into a fight with Judo Master because he came in swinging.
My gosh. Yeah, he was mad. And this is where, we get to see her take it to the max. She takes down Judo Master.
Well, it was a pretty good match, actually. They were pretty much neck to neck, and then Adebayo came in with that taser.
Yeah.
Came in with that taser and tased him.
Yeah.
Took him down.
Yeah,
but,
he was dispatched.
Dispatched. But yeah, I think like another scene that I love is when they're now bringing Eagly to the vet.
Yes.
But now the vet nurses are being held hostage by Vigilante.
Yeah, Vigilante is trying to murk these nurses.
Everyone's kindly stitched up Eagly, and Vigilante's being a total freak.
Dude, they saw us. Peacemaker and I are wanted. What other choice do we have besides killing this veterinarian, this nurse, and this male nurse?
You could just say 2 nurses, man.
If I just say nurse, I think people will imagine it as a woman.
He's standing right there. We don't have to imagine anything.
Must be weird waking up every day and being a male nurse.
Do we really have to kill these people?
No.
With valid reasoning, it's like, well, they've seen our faces. They know what we're doing. We got to take him out. And everyone's kind of figuring out, like, do we need to?
But yeah, this is the turn we see in Harcourt. Because remember, this is an episode 2 discussion where she murked that Secret Service agent without a second thought because they know. And this time, she decides to let them live and to tie them up. Also, we get to see Eagly hug yet again.
Hug.
And yes, Adebayo sees the hug and then calls her partner.
Yeah, she essentially is like, I just saw an eagle hug a human, and I think that's a sign. So I'm gonna stay.
That was
because this is blowing my mind.
They set Harcourt as the leader. There's the new leader.
Because that was the second in command, essentially. And we get a really a scary glimpse of the cow.
Yeah.
That was the chonky little fella.
We end the episode with a big chonk.
Yeah, and that's the cliffhanger that's left, and all there is the last episode.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's essentially the recap. There's a lot that went down this episode, and I think there's a lot of things that we weren't able to touch on, but those were just like
I think the need to know moments. But I just I'm just so excited for this interview.
We've got a very amazing and important guest here. John Cena himself, and we have so many questions to ask this guy. So many. So stick around. You're not going to want to miss this. Hello, everyone. I am here joined by John Cena, the Peacemaker. I am so excited. I mean, I speak for Ify and I when we say, John, you've been so good at just being the best version of Peacemaker we could ever imagine.
You are emotional, but you're also like really funny and down. I don't know. I think Peacemaker as a character is really amazing. So I would love to know your take and how you felt about how you portrayed Peacemaker in the series.
Well, there's been a long legacy of performers who have donned the Peacemaker outfit. I'm the only one who's put on the Peacemaker.
Yeah.
So the fact that you can't see anyone else playing Peacemaker is at least safe and sound, seeing as Peacemaker came from pretty much oblivion. He's not a well-known character. We saw a little bit of debut of a man who will keep peace at any cost in the Suicide Squad. And I guess James Gunn thought that there was a story to be told around that ethos and around the character. And man, I thought the Suicide Squad would be the last time we saw Peacemaker. But here he is back in Peacemaker, the series for HBO Max. So thank you very much for the kind words. I know I'm being sarcastic early on, but I just trying to ease the tension.
No, it's a fun ride. And speaking of fun rides, this show is perfectly self-aware. So how is it working in this kind of comedy environment?
I like it because the show isn't a comedy. But it is. It's not a superhero series, but it is. It's literally a collection of personalities brought together to achieve a goal. Everybody's got their different perception about that goal, and you follow them around during their life, not just times of tension where the mission depends on it. I think that's a small difference between something like the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. You see those between moments, and because it's an episodic, you get to lean into a lot of the nuances. You get to know Peacemaker. You also get to know Christopher Smith, and I could say the same about the dynamic of every other character. And I think that's James Gunn enjoying himself. The fact that he has 8 episodes, he can lean into all that development.
Yeah, totally. And so, okay, Peacemaker, just in the comedy side, says that there's never a bad time to rock, right? And we'd love to rank these moments where from worst to best. When is the best time to rock? Okay, we've got a funeral, making a sandwich, singing the national anthem, having sex, and riding a crowded subway.
I think candor at memorial services probably would rank in a category by itself. I think you got to know the room on that one. I think every other experience you just mentioned is a perfect time to rock.
Perfect. I don't know about riding the crowded subway. I'm from Manhattan.
Don't insinuate there's a wrong time to rock. Don't do that.
I've been licking my lips while watching the show, mostly because of the amber goo that the butterflies eat. What do you think it tastes like?
Oh, I know firsthand. It is. I know at least from a props perspective that it is sugary based. It tastes better than slime, like a Nickelodeon slime. I know that. I got a little up close and personal with the goo. And that right there is a soundbite that should vault this podcast into another dimension.
Thank you for that. Thank you for
Sweet and savory. It's everything I desired at that moment.
Yeah, your curiosity genuinely has no bounds. Interesting. Yes. I love that. Love to know that about you. Yeah.
You should see what's going on below my waist right.
And I was like, perfect framing for us to not know.
It's a tease. All right. And so since we're talking about episode 7, it seems like Peacemaker actually catches a raccoon to use as a decoy. Is that something you think you could do?
I would not be curious about that in real life. That's a bad maneuver. Those things are so cute, but they are so wild.
Oh yeah.
And there's a reason they still exist. That's their ability to defend themselves. And just they'll want to take you on.
Oh yeah.
You're in a trash can, you're in your PJs, you go out to see what it is. It's a raccoon. And you better just fold, go back to sleep. Don't try it. Do not try it.
Yeah, just take the L. Why would you even try to win that battle?
Oh, yeah.
I just like the fact that Peacemaker is constantly getting throttled by, like, in the first episode, a very unlikely opponent comes out of nowhere and hands Peacemaker his ass.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's how we're introduced to this guy. And then a raccoon hands Peacemaker his ass. Like, I like the fact that he's not that good in those respects.
Well, let's take the flip on that. And if you could get a hug from an animal, which animal would you choose?
Being hugged by a bald eagle when you see it in CGI is pretty dope. I think that in my real world, that was a memory foam bowling pin shaped gray object. So when I see that, I have a different experience. But like seeing me getting hugged by an eagle, I think a bald eagle ranks right up on top of that list.
Yeah. To wrap out the interviews, we always take a question from the community. So this is our Eagly Mail.
Yeah, all right.
Still waiting for the graphic. I'm sure something kick-ass happened.
No, we'll make something extremely low budget. It'll be a yellow Post-it thing. It'll just be a flip book of like eagle. Oh, low budget. But we have no graphic support for Eagly Mail.
Yeah.
Just saying Eagly Mail. That's it.
You might have to sing the jingle, I think, for the audio. You want to do that?
Yeah, we'll need that.
Eagly Mail.
Boom.
That's it.
We got it.
There it is. All right, so this person from the community asked,
the streets are talking. What are they saying? What's the word out there? What do people want to know? I have no answers, and I will just spew misinformation.
This person asked, Mr. Cena, have you read any comics with Peacemaker, be it before or after the release of the Suicide Squad and or during the production of Peacemaker? Or did you approach the role as Mr. Gunn wrote it and directed you to play it?
So that's a great question. I'm going to give you the answer first, to which you will have an emotional response. Then I'm going to give you my why. The answer is no. I did not read any comics before or during production. I'll allow you to emote. Here is my why. Because the very first thing I did when I got the job, I shook James Gunn's hand and said, do you want me to get every comic or periodical or anything about Peacemaker and study up? And he's like, no. The reason I've chosen Peacemaker is because many different artists have given different interpretations of Peacemaker. So it's kind of this is a great character because it's up to us to craft it. And I think James's depiction of Peacemaker, like everything he does, it stays true to the art, the crazy silver toilet bowl helmet, the enormous desert eagle. So it's true to form, but he wanted the ability to be able to tell the story, and a lot of it was kind of like decisions made in the heat of the moment. His he's a douchey, broy Captain America that I never would have got that from the comics.
Yeah.
So I think he didn't want me to read those comics because he didn't want me to develop biases, to come on set and be like, no, the comics say this. So I know what you're telling me, but Peacemaker is more like this because of what I read. And it actually worked out great because, the Peacemaker's material, it's archival, it's old, it's not of today. So to take a character and retrofit all this stuff and make it appropriate for what James wanted to accomplish in the series, he actually gave me the advice not to read the comics. And I'm glad he did because we have this family behind me that I'm very proud of.
Oh, yeah. I completely agree. Your Peacemaker is my favorite Peacemaker, so.
You know what? Even though it's a listed one, I will take that. I spent most of my life being called number 2. So I'm going to take the time right now as the only person who's ever donned the Peacemaker outfit to be the number 1 Peacemaker.
You are the number 1 Peacemaker. Now, because you pulled out the Desert Eagle, I just need to know, what other props did you bring to the show before we wrap it up?
So, like I said, I can't really show you below my waist.
Right.
It's not what you think. It's actually a bunch of TVs airing old 70s World's Strongest Man reruns.
Ooh.
I don't know how to.
What a twist.
I have the gloves and I have the full Peacemaker outfit. The one thing I don't have is the helmet. I lost it in a sucker's bet to Jimmy Fallon last night at the Tonight Show. So I don't have the helmet. I don't own it anymore. And to be quite honest, I didn't own it in the first place. So que sera, sera, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have, this is not a real weapon, as you can see.
Yeah. Well, I believe you could. Yeah, I was like, I can believe you could bend a real gun. So
I also think things like this, because if you look at the comic book art, Peacemaker does carry a giant silver sidearm. But as we learn more about Peacemaker, this is obviously a compensation piece as well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think that there's a bunch of stuff that Peacemaker does and how he defines his character. The bright uniform, they touch on that in the series. Certainly his even the dove of peace engraved on all weaponry. I think everything has meaning, and all that stuff is true to art form. So it's cool to be able to see this stuff. And man, our props guys did an awesome job with this stuff, and they're lending it to me for the afternoon. So very grateful.
Okay, John might have a little background difficulty. Those are those budget cuts we were talking about, right, Fiona?
Yeah, right. You'll see it in the graphics too, actually.
Yeah. So it happens.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Yeah.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Amazing. Again, John Cena, you've been amazing as Peacemaker, and the show has been so fun to watch. And really, it's been such a ride. So great job. I just want to say great job. Yeah.
No, thanks. I'm glad everybody enjoys it. We had a bunch of fun making it, and I hope we can make 80 more seasons. Because I really, as you can see, I'm a bit into the character.
Yeah, me too. Let's keep it going. Peacemakers, 8 seasons and a movie. I got the first wind of Funny John when I saw you in Trainwreck, and I lost my mind. I was like, oh, John's like funny.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I always say that you had great comedians, and certainly a great comedic mind, and Judd, at the ship's helm, and they created an environment to bring in this guy who is not familiar with comedy and say, listen, okay, you can tell 65 bad jokes. We're going to run. All I need is one good one.
Mm-hmm.
So like they would give you the ability to fail.
Nice.
And a lot of times when you're out there doing a stand-up set, you don't have that ability. When you're out there performing live for WWE, you don't have that ability. But when you create an environment for somebody to be like, I know you're new to this. We're going to put some really funny people around you, and you can fail, go for it.
Yeah.
And I hats off to them for being able to have a little faith in me to waste some tape and hopefully get some good jokes.
Yeah. Thank you so much, John. It was so great talking to you. Honestly.
Thank you for you guys for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being a vehicle to keep the peace.
Yeah.
And man, I hope people enjoy the series.
Oh, they will. They will.
Yeah,
Don't worry
100%.
about that.
That I'm never been more confident of anything.
You have made 100% guarantee of satisfaction. How am I going to deliver that? How are we going to live up to the hype? You
John,
son of a bitch!
John, you did.
We 100% guarantee that Peacemaker will happen. You will feel a certain way about it, okay? All right? And we would like you to share those thoughts. Engage in social media on how you feel. Good, bad, or indifferent.
Great.
Peace.
See you later, John.
Oh, man.
And I already miss him. I want him back here. Oh man, what a great guy. So excited. It was so great to finally just chat. Like, I love chatting with all these cast members and people like behind the scenes, just getting a glimpse of how Peacemaker's made and just getting even more about their characters. I'm loving it.
Yeah, getting info on the Peacemaker sausage.
Ooh, the Peacemaker sausage.
Well, let's go ahead and get this Peace Prize going.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, we got the Peace Prize, one of Ify's favorite segments of the show. And I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
We have an amazing, warm, and wholesome Eagly hug.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what award we're going to give it?
The Eagly Hug.
The Eagly Hug Award. We have to, because that was the hug, and it's an Eagly Hug Award. Of course. We have to give it that award, because that was one of the most touching and sad and also most wholesome scene, personally, that I felt. And also, it made it even better that Adebayo saw it, too, because she didn't believe it, but she sees it, and that is a sign that she's going to continue on.
I know. And especially, too, like, you get to see just this extremely vulnerable version of Peacemaker who's praying and hoping that Eagly survives this, and he does.
And he does. Spoiler alert. He does.
Yeah.
You don't need to be sad. Don't cry. Yeah. He does. He makes it back. He rises from the grave, essentially, to give Peacemaker a hug. And oh man, how much we love Eagly.
Yeah.
We love Eagly. But yeah, that scene was great. And I think it definitely deserved this award. So, Eagly hug
goes to the Eagly hug.
There it is.
There it is. Well, on that note, I think we got to close out. We've had so much fun hanging with you, talking about Peacemaker. Thanks for watching. I mean, this was the penultimate episode. Mm-hmm. The next episode will be the finale of both the show and the podcast.
Yeah, and then we lose our jobs.
If you haven't already subscribed, so you won't miss an episode when you subscribe.
And if you want some awesome and sweet merchandise, check out shop.dccomics.com to get some amazing Peacemaker merch. You're not going to want to miss it.
And even though the show's finale is next week, it doesn't mean you have to stop ingesting comic book media. Make sure you get the DC Universe Infinite account so you can get access to so much comic books, so much more. You'll love it. Trust me, I have it and I love it. But also, please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and, start the conversation with us. Let us know your favorite scenes. And of course, make sure you're streaming new episodes of Peacemaker and Podly, the official Peacemaker companion podcast from HBO Max and DC on HBO Max. Okay? Until next time, keep the peace.
Keep it.
Keep it.